Sentencing parity conference underway. And trade union congress supports plantation workers. A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Jaylee Sapies. Thank you for joining us. Prime Minister James Marape arrived in the country yesterday evening with full assurance that the new Papua New Guinea-Australia Mutual Defence Treaty, known as the Pukpuk Treaty, will not compromise its relationship with other development partners.
Prime Minister Marape says this mutual treaty will enable both countries to work together to build PNG military, and also PNG citizens will have the opportunity to secure employment with the Australian Defence Force.
We could work to build the defence force we want to build up. And so that Vexel is proposally working, but this doesn't compromise our relationship.
Prime Minister states the agreement is part of PNG reset to build its defence, as to date if any country invades, PNG cannot defend itself.
As your Prime Minister, or Minister Billy as your Defence Minister, or your Defence Commander, has no ability whatsoever to defend our country on air, on sea, technology, or on land.
He notes that this treaty is the highest military relationship with Australia, which elevates PNG relationship to integrate with Australian defence and coexist side by side going forward.
Australia themselves, this is the only second treaty. The first one was done 70 years ago. They never requested this.
Mr. Marape clarifies that this mutual treaty does not give automatic Australian intervention in PNG.
We've signed this agreement, but it doesn't give automatic Australia intervention in our country. There is no provision at mutual discussions without tempering each other's sovereignty. PNG can ask Australia for help.
He adds that the treaty has 16 pages and will be made public for PNG to access.
Consistent with the provision of Section 117 of our Constitution, this matter will be progressed to our National Parliament. They will also be progressing this to the National Parliament and subject to the Section 117 process of our Constitution.
Marape clarifies that defense ministers for both countries will have annual meetings to review the treaty to ensure the agreement is in order. The treaty can be terminated within 12 months if either nation do not agree to continue this mutual relationship. Lauren Jimal, National EMTV News.
Papua New Guinea Defence Force aims to boost its manpower to 7,000 by 2035 and be equipped with skills and knowledge to defend the country.
Prime Minister James Marape made his statement while addressing the media on the Pukpuk Treaty yesterday evening.
Our own defence force, we will work to build it up, as I did indicate, 7,000 strong unit by 2035, 3,000 reservists, or 3,000 reserve force. So we have a force strength of 10,000 by 2035. That is what we envisage.
He says these 7,000 strong units will be trained to operate in various locations, both on land, sea, air, and using technology as well.
It's part of our work to protect our sovereignty, our external borders, stop from the abuse of our resources, through whether it's through illegal fishing, illegal forestry, whatsoever. We want our country to be secured in as far as border is concerned by a well-resourced defence force, land, air, sea.
Marape says this Pukpuk Treaty is the work towards securing stronger defence of PNG military to provide security of its people and the borders. Lauren Jimal, National EMTV News.
The Department of Education has clarified an incident in which 27 grade 10 students from Kimber Grammar School in West New Britain Province were prevented from sitting their first day of the national examinations due to non-payment of school fees.
Education Secretary Dr. Uke Kombra said the department is aware of the matter and is working closely with the West New Britain Provincial Education Office and the school administration to ensure the affected students are given the opportunity to complete their exams. He confirmed that the Provincial Education Advisor will issue a formal letter to the school allowing the students to continue their examinations starting today. The students will also be required to complete a notice of absenteeism form for the missed paper. Dr. Kombra explained that as a private institution, Kimber Grammar operates under its own administrative and financial policies. However, he emphasized that no child should be denied access to education or national assessments due to financial constraints. He urged schools, parents and provincial authorities to cooperate and resolve such issues to avoid disruptions. The department will continue to monitor the situation to ensure fairness and equal opportunity for all students. Jonathan Sibona, National EMTV News.
Commander of National Capital District and Central, Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police Benjamin Turi, has ordered Angans who are supporting their tribesmen to set up a mourning house and demand 200,000 kina compensation from the Gulf community in Mosby South to cease from what they are doing. ACP Turi said this following the death of an Angan man who was murdered by a man believed to be from Gulf.
Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police Benjamin Turi and police units were on location yesterday and confirmed that a total of 17 houses were burnt down 2 weeks ago by alleged Angan group. According to ACP Turi, the Angans chased the Gulf people out of the houses, then sourced power from one of the houses and connected it to the house cry that they were hosting at Sabama. Mr. Turi expressed his disappointed to see such mentality portrayed in the city. He said burning down of houses and then trying to claim land is unlawful. Owners of the houses that were burnt down and those that fled from their homes are advised to work with Badili police. Police are patrolling the area to ensure those who fled can return to their residences at Sabama. In the meantime, a suspect has been arrested and is in police custody, and public warning has been given to non-residents not to create new problems. Benson Wema, National EMTV News.
The final preparations towards the funeral of late Morobe Governor Luther Akisawa Wenge is underway.
According to the member of House Cry Committee and Master of Ceremony, Bami Sori Kinek, the casket of the late governor will overnight at the stadium this evening.
Okay, the preparation for the funeral service of the late governor is well underway. I think we're just finalizing the preparations here. And what's actually going to happen is that the body will overnight here tonight at the indoor stadium. And at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, the body will be picked up by the Defence Force Bearer Party, and they will march with the body from the indoor stadium into the outdoor stadium. And as you can see the preparations there, that's where the casket will be received here, and the Bearer Party will march with the casket to where the catafalque is, and they'll place the casket on the catafalque, and the program starts, the funeral starts.
The province is expecting the presence of the Prime Minister James Marape, the Governor General His Excellency Sir Bob Dadai, and the entire National Executive Council and members of Parliament.
From what we have heard, the entire National Executive Council and governors of other provinces, including members of Parliament, will be here. There's also indications of the leaders of the lay business community that will also attend the funeral service of the late governor, and this is the preparations towards conducting the funeral mass for the late governor.
He said a delegation from his CPK and Southern provinces will be here to sympathize with the province. Jonathan Sibona, National EMTV News.
A 3-day National Sentencing Parity Conference for Papua New Guinea magistrates is currently underway in Port Moresby, facilitated by the country's prominent judges and magistrates.
The conference began yesterday focusing on topics such as sentencing parity, criminal law compensation act, understanding sentencing parity, cybercrime act, and juvenile justice act. Different speakers comprising of senior magistrates were included in different panel sessions, sharing valuable insights into each of the topics discussed. With the wealth of experience from those who have spent a good number of years serving in the justice system, it gives a learning opportunity to other new magistrates. In one of the sessions today, magistrates were privileged to have the Deputy Chief Justice, Sir Ambeng Kandakasi, who took them through developing sentencing guidelines.
All factors in mitigation, factors in aggravation, extenuating circumstances, comparable verdicts or comparable judgments, wherever they are present, all of these need to be taken into account by the judging or magistrate who is considering sentence in every case. Because if you fail to do so, that's an appealable ground. And you could be overturned. You might have done a very good job, but if you fail to consider all of the factors, if presented in each case, then that could be appealable ground.
The Deputy Chief Justice further deliberates on areas where magistrates must pay attention to when determining facts in court.
So if you take into account all of those things, it's good. I quote this bit here from the Supreme Court. However, as to the appellant's antecedents, the absence of prior convictions, His Honour's only comment was that it was the appellant's first time to be in court. His Honour did not state that the absence of prior convictions was taken into account as a mitigating factor. The reasonable inference is that it was given no or little weight. This was an identifiable error, vitiating the sentence. We uphold the ground of appeal. So you see, the judge in the trial court has just made mention he's a first-time offender, but didn't go far enough to explain what that meant and how that becomes a factor that it ultimately helps the judge to arrive at the final decision.
Benson Wema, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Chicken kebab saja, ha? Yeah.
This different.
Chicken curry, my favorite.
Kebabs for you,
Yum.
stir fry for you,
and chicken curry for us.
Magic in every meal, one cube at a time.
Get twice the data with Telecom. Enjoy bonus double data from Thursday to Saturday on selected plans. You get twice the data at the same price. For instance, for 5 kina, you get 6 gigabytes valid for 1 day. And that's more data for you to stream videos and play your online games. Drop into your nearest Telecom store or kiosk to top up and get your double data. Great value and PNG owned sure feels good.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
And each week on Kai Time, we'll introduce you to local food businesses showcasing their delicious dishes. Plus, you will discover how to make tasty and affordable meals using ingredients from your local markets. Kai Time every Wednesday at 7 p.m. right here on your number one to watch, MTV.
Join me on House and Home for all your home and lifestyle improvements.
It's not rocket science. And many of these things too, I didn't go to school, I teach myself.
From Hot Talk Mom, health and fitness, interest stories, gardening tips, out and about, pet care, and many more. Join me every Tuesday, 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, MTV.
You're watching National MTV News. Papua New Guinea Trade Union Congress is standing in solidarity with plantation workers in Jiwaka province to protest the long-standing wage exploitation.
Acting General Secretary for PNG Trade Union Congress, Anton Sekum, stated this today while highlighting key areas for the government and the state agencies to look at.
Our demand today to the government and to the state agencies that a full review of the WR Carpenters exemption practices must be conducted, not only WR Carpenters but all plantations around the country.
He added that this support could elevate to a national conversation to assist all the plantation workers who are facing the same issue.
Talk about these workers, this cluster of workers that have been denied representation for the last 50 years. They are families who are entrapped in slave wages in those plantations. They couldn't go back home because their earnings are not enough to repatriate themselves.
The union has appealed to the government to act immediately to address the issue.
If the authorities do not address this issue, an avenue for generation of foreign exchange will be shutting down. From their actions, which can be very costly to the nation, to the company, and to the employees themselves.
Nicole Rema, National MTV News.
Meanwhile, PNG Trade Union Congress calls for immediate action from the government and government agencies to look at the plantation workers and address employee benefits.
In response to media's question whether the issue has been brought to the responsible authorities, Acting General Secretary for PNG Trade Union Congress, Anton Sekum, has called on responsible authorities to address this in the best possible ways.
The first time that we have been consulted on this issue. We are aware of those issues for a long time. Unfortunately, over capacity issues, but we cannot neglect that issue any longer. It's 50 years. We have to handle this issue. We have to deal with this issue in the best possible way so that we can help our citizens.
He stressed the importance of government officers to carry out inspections on the plantations.
Not much has been done in that area. We look at the paper applications that are presented and approve it based on the paper applications before them. And that's where the problem is.
Sekum said there should be a permanent end to the practice of using exemptions to suppress minimum wage compliance. He added that this must be the turning point, the beginning of the end for slave wages in Papua New Guinea's plantation economy. Nicole Rema, National MTV News.
A convicted female prisoner, Loakada, aged 25, escaped from the Bayonne Correctional Institute on Monday, the 6th of October 2025, during a work party. According to Medang Provincial Police Commander Acting Superintendent Robert Baim, she was sentenced to 25 years hard labor on the 14th of January for drug possession. A businessman and former government official, Tumbulu Peterson Pipi, has made a general call to citizens to uphold ethical and legal principles when carrying out their duties.
Mr. Tumbulu Peterson said regardless of a person's title, it is everyone's fiduciary duty to uphold these principles. Mr. Peterson noted fiduciary duty is a legal and ethical obligation where one party must act in the best interest of another party. It is a cornerstone of trust-based relationships in law, finance, and governance. He also emphasized the core principles of fiduciary duty, which are duty of care, loyalty, good faith, and disclosure. He concluded that citizens must do things that are right and truthful and must not be in contradiction to the law. Jacinta Dr. National MTV News.
The International Organization for Migration, in collaboration with the National Disaster Center and Provincial Disaster Centers of Western Highlands and Jiwaka, recently conducted a series of solutions and mobility index training sessions in the Highlands region.
The trainings aim to build the capacity of provincial stakeholders to understand and use solutions and mobility index for decision-making to help support attainment of durable solutions for internally displaced persons. It also promoted the use of SMI findings to inform provincial disaster management plans and initiatives, relocation strategies, and resilience-building programming among provincial authorities, communities, and partners. Participants explored the displacement and human mobility context in their provinces, examining SMI indicators and how the framework connects key elements of durable solutions, such as shelter, livelihoods, safety and security, and access to essential and social cohesion. These helped participants gain a clearer understanding of living conditions and identify priorities to support durable solutions for displaced populations. Interactive sessions included group exercises, data interpretation discussions, and planning on how to integrate SMI findings into provincial development and disaster management plans. These SMI trainings were funded by the U.S. government through IOM's project addressing the drivers and consequences of disaster displacement through enhancing resilience in Papua New Guinea. Jacinta Dr. National MTV News.
Now we take a look at the NASFund market report. The Kina closed lower at $0.2385 in the interbank market. At BSP, your Kina was buying $0.2310 $0.3462 Australian dollars, 0.1892 euro, and 34.41 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices, at New York close, gold is trading higher, coffee closed lower, cocoa closed higher, copra closed higher, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed unchanged. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National MTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFund. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family, living each day knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Why easy pay with telephone?
Simply top up and receive Easy Pay from your phone. Here's how to buy. Dial *775#, enter the meter number, enter the amount, press 1 to confirm, and receive SMS with voucher and transaction reference number. Great value and PNG-owned shop feels good. Drop in to your nearest telecom store or kiosk to top up and buy Easy Pay. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Papua New Guinea is currently facing a polio outbreak. Polio is a very dangerous disease that causes lifelong paralysis, even death. All children under 10 years of age are at high risk. To protect our children, the government of Papua New Guinea is conducting a nationwide polio immunization campaign for all children under 10. This campaign will run from the 13th to the 31st of October in health facilities, schools, or through health teams visiting your community. If you have a child, grandchild, or sibling under 10, it is very important you get them immunized during this campaign, even if they have received polio immunization previously. Immunization is safe, free, and effective.
Please protect me from polio.
Eligible children will also receive vitamin A, deworming tablets, and routine immunization during this campaign. This message is brought to you by the National Department of Health with support from UNICEF, WHO, and all our partners.
Join me on House and Home for all your home and lifestyle improvements.
It's not rocket science. And many of these things too, I didn't go to school, I teach myself.
From Hatok Mom, health and fitness, interest stories, gardening tips, out and about, pet care, and many more. Join me every Tuesday 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, EMTV.
You're watching National EMTV News. Day 2 of the National Sentencing Parity Conference continued today with interesting key topics on preliminary issues, Road Traffic Act, Development of Guidelines and Summary Offences Act. In this session, Justice Laura Wabun Kuvi encouraged the magistrates to be clear when delivering orders to the different parties.
All right.
Under the topic of development of sentencing guidelines and summary offences act, Justice Laura Wabun Kuvi made a presentation on comparable cases and relevance, culpability, antecedents and peculiar circumstance, and aggravating mitigation and extenuating circumstance.
For you to go outside of the general trend, but you must provide reasons and justify why you are going outside the general trend. All right, so having found a range, the next question, and this is where personal or peculiar circumstances come in now, when you look at the antecedent or background of the person. So an educated person, we expect them to be more well-versed with things and should not commit an offense, or certain types of offenses, whereas someone in the village who's unsophisticated may be treated differently.
Among the panelists for this session was Principal Magistrate Betty Jacobs, who is based in Western Highlands. She said insights on dealing with offensive weapons.
About firearms and drugs, but offensive weapon is like you have this wire cutter. And in offensive weapon, they have knife, screwdrivers, sharpened screwdrivers on both ends, like a saw, and they bring it in. You know, it's a risk on its own. It's very dangerous too. So. And then I'm thinking whether to consider this, and then if I find that in this antecedent report, and then if he's being very, he's remorseful, and he's saying, I'm sorry for what I did, I will not do it again. Do you take all these factors into account?
Principal Magistrate Samuel Lavutul, serving in his New Britain, also made contributions to the discussions, elaborating on multiplicity of charges.
In order to avoid at the end, in order to avoid multiplicity of charges, maybe it's wise to pick out the charge that carries the higher penalty, because so that you can deal with one matter that captures the other charges that are where the penalties are minor.
During the sessions, magistrates were allowed to ask questions and seek clarifications on their doubts. They also participated in practical cases in groups, which gave them more chances to interact and learn from other colleagues. Ben Senwema, National EMTV News.
On the eve of the Enga Provincial Day celebration, the first ever Miss Enga, Kuri Endopio, was crowned by the current Miss Bird of Paradise Papua New Guinea, Meha Sola, in Wabeg.
During the crowning of Miss Enga, reigning Queen Miss Bird of Paradise Papua New Guinea, May Asola said, Enga province is the first islands province to join the Miss Bird of Paradise family. She emphasized that this pageant is not only about a show of beauty, rather it is about a service, leadership, cultural pride and empowerment of all women across PNG. She stressed that Enga is setting the pace for the rest of Islands region.
By stepping forward as the first Highlands province to embrace this vision, Enga is setting the pace. You are blazing a trail for the rest of the Highlands, and I believe other provinces will look to you and follow your lead.
Miss Asola said the crowning of the inaugural Miss Bird of Paradise Enga 2025 has allowed her to visit Enga province for the first time. She expressed that through this platform, Enga reminded her on how truly blessed the province is.
Through this platform, we want the nation and the world to see that Enga is not just what the media portrays, but a province full of beauty, resilience, and hope.
She also congratulated the other 7 contestants for their bravery and willingness to stand for their people. Meanwhile, 24-year-old Miss Enga Kuri Endopio thanked the provincial government through this platform to allow young Engan girls to speak in public.
I thank the Enga provincial government for this opportunity, for this platform, for making a way for us young ladies to speak.
She finally urged all citizens of Enga to rally their support during the upcoming crowning of the new Miss Bird of Paradise in Port Moresby.
I will be going to Port Moresby to contest with other provincial queens for the Miss Bird of Paradise Papua New Guinea crown this year. I ask for your support. I ask for your prayers.
Edward Luke, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
Moving to overseas news, indirect talks between Israel and Hamas on a potential peace deal has begun in Egypt in a bid to secure a lasting ceasefire in Gaza in return of Israel hostages.
Many sort of ceasefire talks over the past 2 years where we thought perhaps there was a chance something would happen. These are quite different though, because I think President Trump is actually exerting huge influence on all the parties, including on his great ally Israel, and he's really making it clear he wants this to happen. He wants it to happen quickly, and he has said recently, a couple of hours ago, that Hamas has agreed to some key issues, and the way they're happening is they're meeting at the Egyptian resort of Sharm el-Sheikh, which is known by many tourists as quite an upmarket resort in Egypt. They have Qatar has its representatives there, so does Egypt, and the United States has flown in 2 of Donald Trump's key advisors, his son-in-law Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff, who is his special envoy that he sends to various places for these sort of talks. Now, the Hamas officials who are there will not have any direct contact with the Israelis, which sort of says everything. They will be in separate parts of the hotel. The Israelis will say yes or no to something. That will then be relayed to the Hamas people. And the Qataris and the Egyptians will, with the Americans, try to come up with some agreement so that this horrible war, which, as you say, has almost been going 2 years to the day, will come to an end.
Australians detained by Israel have claimed they were beaten and denied water.
We've seen the redacted summaries of reports that have been prepared by Australian diplomats in Israel, detailing some of these really serious claims that have been made by Australian activists that are currently being held at the high-security Ketziat prison in Israel. Now, one of those Australians, there are 7 that DFAT say have been detained by Israel. Soraya McEwen, told officials that he had his arm dislocated and his head slammed into the ground. He said that he was held in a large cage with 80 other people for many hours while the far-right Israeli National Security Minister Ben-Gvir visited and yelled at them. Now, we know that Ben-Gvir was sanctioned previously by the Australian government and convicted of terror offences, and there are many similar accounts from activists that have since been deported who have recounted a very similar experience. Soraya also claimed that his passport was destroyed, which we've heard from others. Another Australian was Juliet Lamont. She says she was blasted with a water cannon, left with her hands tied for hours and was denied medication and water. We heard from her daughter on social media, who was very concerned for her mother, considering that she had underlying conditions, medical conditions, and a follow-up visit on Sunday reported that she did end up getting that blood pressure medication that she needed. There are a bunch of other accounts including detainees being forced to, quote, dance like a monkey naked and being repeatedly shown footage of the October 7 attack, something that has been previously reported by other activists from an earlier flotilla.
Victoria Prime Minister has condemned overnight graffiti by pro-Hamas in Melbourne North.
Billboard in Fitzroy was targeted by vandals with a slogan reading "Glory to Hamas." Police are investigating the incident, which comes on the second anniversary of the October 7 attacks by Hamas. The militant group is a designated terrorist organisation in Australia.
It is wrong, it is offensive, and of all days today, when so many in our community, our Jewish community, but also many others in our community are marking a day that recognises it's the biggest loss of Jewish life, was lost on this day 2 years ago since the Holocaust. And it is just so deeply wrong and offensive for this sort of it's almost impossible to describe this behaviour in terms of what has been written on this billboard, and it is just so wrong. And my thoughts and hearts go to the Jewish community today and everyone in our community who is striving for peace and harmony.
The Prime Minister has also condemned the graffiti. In a statement, PM Albanese says the terrorist propaganda defacing a Melbourne billboard on the anniversary of the October 7 murders is abhorrent. The people responsible must face the full force of the law. The AFP will work with Victorian Police to bring them to justice.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Chukai Sports. Stay with us.
Some days feel grey until someone brings back your smile. Happiness, sometimes all it takes is a bite or a scoop.
Late again?
And sometimes it's waiting in the freezer just for you.
Share the love, share the happiness in every moment with Gala.
Gala Yum.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
Enjoy more talk, more text, and more time online with Telecom More Bundles. Choose from 8 plans ranging from 3 kina with 600 megabytes of data all the way up to 75 kina, loaded with a massive 35 gig. Best of all, each plan comes with an unlimited on-network call minutes plus on-net and off-net talk and text. That's way more time to chat with family and friends. Telecom More Bundles. Top up now.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck. like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFAN. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family, living each day knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Hi kids, I'm Steffi. Join me on Kids Corner for story time, simple and creative arts and crafts, career corner, nature time, field trips, and not forgetting our cartoons and children entertainment shows. Join me every weekdays from 3:30 to 5:30 for Kids Corner on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Join us weekly on MTV News, A Closer Look, the current affairs program that brings you insight for the latest on education, health,
Healing to all the residents.
business,
They launched its VPN.
politics,
to infiltrate into our systems.
sports, and more.
As we observe the preparations for the women's.
A Closer Look, Sunday at 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, MTV.
True Kai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Prime Minister James Marape confirmed yesterday evening that the PM's 13 will be held in Port Moresby this Sunday.
Prime Minister Stephen Metz will see Junior Kumuls take on the Australian schoolboys, while the Junior Orchids will challenge the Australian schoolgirls before the women's and men's matches. Mr. Marape also noted that if everything goes as planned, he will announce the name of Papua New Guinea's NRL team during Prime Minister Stephen Metz.
The name is given, then the construct of everything else will flow from there on. So we should get the name out of the way at the earliest. If everything goes to plan, by Saturday we should have agreed on a name, and then by Sunday we should announce on the name. But,
According to Prime Minister, the short list of the names were already made in consultation with NRL to check for the copyright and to ensure the team logo, uniform color and design is unique and different from others.
Depends on a few things that we have to do here. And so if we take the name off, at the background of this, we'll get on with the junior pathways, selection of our possible core people who will be in the team, running the team. We'll launch the membership drive. I want to have over 1 million Papua New Guineans through membership being part of this team. And so those processes will take its course, and at the end of the year, we should have the structure of the franchise through membership being part of this team. And so those processes will take its course, and
Lauren Jimal, Trukai Sports.
The Rovers Softball Club kicked off the Madang Softball Association season in style at Yabong Field, unveiling new uniforms and recording convincing wins against their opponents.
The Rovers Softball Club opened the season with strong performances wearing their new uniforms. The men's team beat the Kalibobo Classics 4-0 and the women's team dominated the 09ers 14-0. Men's captain Bradley Gowlat said the win reflects the team's hard work, discipline and teamwork during training, showing that the effort is paying off. Women's captain Josephine Moke added that the new uniforms have given the team a fresh sense of motivation and boost team spirit. Rovers Club President Atta Kobal thanked B2B Industries for supplying the uniforms and highlighted the growing enthusiasm for softball in Madang after the COVID-19 pandemic. He said softball is a family sport that brings people together and that the club aims to promote teamwork, positive stories through sports. Kobal also mentioned that the Medang Softball Association is working to affiliate with the PNG Softball Federation, which would allow local teams to compete nationally and represent Papua New Guinea. Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
The spirit of inclusion and teamwork was on full display at the University of Papua New Guinea, where the 2025 Unified Football Competition unfolded.
The Special Olympic PNG 2025 Unified Football Competition, proudly supported by MoneyPlus, brought together students from special schools, others and partners for an exciting and meaningful day at the football field. The event highlighted the importance of inclusiveness, friendship and the power of sport to bring children together of special needs. Jenny Sike, the head coach of the Special Olympics PNG, highlighted the difference between athletes and partners, explaining that the competition aims to create a unified environment where everyone, regardless of ability, can play side by side.
And we don't all have the athletes only. We also have partners that come into play together with them. There's a difference. Athletes are the ones with intellectual disability, and partners are the ones that do not have intellectual disability. So that is why it is called a unified football. So where partners and athletes come together, they form a team and play together in the same team.
Assistant Sports Coordinator for the Special Olympics PNG, Daniel Wesley, said the event is an initiative set by Special Olympics PNG and will run over several weekends, allowing teams ample time to showcase their talent before the selections for an overseas competition.
The boys, we have 11 teams, and the girls 8 teams. And these teams are from our special schools, like Kalang and Red Cross. We also involve Sasaya, but for this year, Sasaya is not with us. And the others are system schools.
Sike also thanked the major sponsor, MoneyPlus, for coming on board to support this year's competition, saying their involvement helped grow opportunities for children with special needs. Jonathan Sibona, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Chicken kebab saja, ha? Yeah.
This different.
Chicken curry, my favorite.
Kebabs for you.
Yum.
Stir fry for you. And chicken curry for us.
Magic in every meal, one cube at a time.
Dreaming for more than the life we know. There is more to what the future holds. You may hold him and walk one time. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With MoneyPlus, we're ready to go.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Goodpilla mobile data plans. From only 3 kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Goodpilla data plans to choose from, there's a small, medium or large plan to match your budget. Dial *777# to subscribe. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Papua New Guinea is currently facing a polio outbreak. Polio is a very dangerous disease that causes lifelong paralysis, even death. All children under 10 years of age are at high risk. To protect our children, the government of Papua New Guinea is conducting a nationwide polio immunization campaign for all children under 10. This campaign will run from the 13th to the 31st of October in health facilities, schools, or through health teams visiting your community. If you have a child, grandchild, or sibling under 10, it is very important you get them immunized during this campaign, even if they have received polio immunization previously. Immunization is safe, free, and effective.
Please protect me from polio.
Eligible children will also receive vitamin A, deworming tablets, and routine immunization during this campaign. This message is brought to you by the National Department of Health with support from UNICEF, WHO, and all our partners.
Join me on House and Home for all your home and lifestyle improvements.
It's not rocket science. And many of these things too, I didn't go to school, I teach myself.
From Hot Talk Mom, health and fitness, interest stories, gardening tips, out and about, pet care, and many more. Join me every Tuesday, 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
You're watching True Guy Sports. Moving to overseas sports, the season may be over, but the AFL trade period has just begun.
Yeah, it's heading up to Gemma. The Adelaide Crows, they have ruled out spending their first round draft pick for Callum Archie. The two-time premiership player has a 5-year offer from the Crows, but Adelaide will explore a multi-club trade to land the Lion. Crosstown rivals Port Adelaide, they've denied that Zach Butters floated the idea of a trade to Victoria. Port adamant the midfielder will be at the club next year.
They're the challenges that players are going to state face, and being, arguably one of the best players in the competition, if not the best, that everyone will be going after him and wanting him to come back home, and he'll be throwing a lot of money and all these things that he's got to go through. So there's some big decisions for him to make, but I know that he loves the Port Adelaide Footy Club and those players a lot.
Alex de Minaur cruised through round 16 at the Shanghai Masters.
The Aussie getting the job done with relative ease against Poland's Kamil Marczak in straight sets. Final score 6-1, 7-5. He'll play Nuno Borges in the final 16. Meanwhile, Alexander Zverev has called for more variety in court surfaces, saying conditions are too similar across clay, grass and hard courts. Speaking after his shock loss in Shanghai, Zverev said certain players are being favoured.
I hate when it's the same, to be honest, and I know that the tournament directors are going towards that direction because obviously they want Yannick and Carlos to do well every tournament, and that's what they prefer.
That ends True Guy Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
True Guy Sports. True Guy Sports.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Enjoy more talk, more text, and more time online with Telecom More Bundles. Choose from 8 plans ranging from 3 kina with 600 megabytes of data all the way up to 75 kina, loaded with a massive 35 gig. Best of all, each plan comes with an unlimited on-network call minutes plus on-net and off-net talk and text. That's way more time to chat with family and friends. Telecom More Bundles. Top up now.
Papua New Guinea is currently facing a polio outbreak. Polio is a very dangerous disease that causes lifelong paralysis, even death. All children under 10 years of age are at high risk. To protect our children, the government of Papua New Guinea is conducting a nationwide polio immunization campaign for all children under 10. This campaign will run from the 13th to the 31st of October in health facilities, schools, or through health teams visiting your community. If you have a child, grandchild, or sibling under 10, it is very important you get them immunized during this campaign, even if they have received polio immunization previously. Immunization is safe, free, and effective.
Please protect me from polio.
Eligible children will also receive vitamin A, deworming tablets, and routine immunization during this campaign. This message is brought to you by the National Department of Health with support from UNICEF, WHO, and all our partners.
Join me every Thursday night as Sports Scene brings to you all the local and international sporting updates. Revisiting our legendary athletes.
Hi, this is David.
Highlighting our local sports developments across the nation.
All eyes on Papua. Now an NRL team based here.
We create a pathway.
And our talented rising stars.
Hi, my name's Gemma Schnobel and you're watching
all the younger ones will follow.
Sports Scene, Thursday nights at 7 p.m. only on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Dreaming for more than the life we've known. There is more to what the future holds. You need holy man to walk one time. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With money plus we're ready to go.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
The Money Plus weather report for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, Port Moresby City cloudy periods with rain showers and thunderstorms. Daru cloudy periods with rain showers and thunderstorms. Kerama partly cloudy with few showers and thunderstorms. Alotau cloudy periods with few rain showers and possible thunderstorms. And Popondetta mostly cloudy with rain showers and thunderstorms. In the Momase region, Lay City cloudy periods with rain showers and thunderstorms. Medang mostly cloudy with rain showers and thunderstorms. Wiwe cloudy period with rain showers and thunderstorms. And Vanimo cloudy periods with few showers and thunderstorms. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau partly cloudy with rain showers and thunderstorms. Kavieng mostly fine, partly cloudy with possible showers and thunderstorms. Kokoporobal found fine with few clouds and possible showers. Kimbe mostly fine, partly cloudy with possible rain showers and thunderstorms. And in Buka, mostly fine, partly cloudy with possible thunderstorms. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen City cloudy period with rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Goroka Bans and Kundiawa cloudy periods with rain showers and possible thunderstorms. And Mendi, Tari and Wabeg cloudy periods with rain and thunderstorms.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Tuesday, the 7th of October 2025. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.